In the dimly lit confines of his apartment, Daniel sits amidst a collection of paranormal investigation equipment, the air thick with unspoken stories. He activates the recording device, his face etched with weariness, preparing to recount his journey into the unknown. His voice, heavy with a blend of fear and resignation, begins to fill the room, each word a testament to battles fought and lost. He speaks of his career, each case a step further into the abyss, each encounter leaving its mark on his soul. The Redwood case looms large in his narrative, a dark chapter that ultimately broke him, its shadows still clinging to his weary frame. Inside Father Thomas's modest office, the sunlight casts long shadows, hinting at the turmoil to come. The phone rings, its shrill tone cutting through the quiet of the day. Father Thomas's voice cracks over the line, a desperate plea laced with terror. His words paint a grim picture of Redwood, Maine, a place now shrouded in unimaginable horror. Each syllable is a hammer blow, driving home the gravity of the situation. He begs for immediate help, his voice trembling as he utters the chilling words. A child is no longer human. The car cuts through the inky blackness of Redwood, Maine, its headlights the only defiance against the oppressive night. Towering pines claw at the sky on either side, their dark silhouettes creating a sense of claustrophobia. Each mile deeper into the forest amplifies the feeling of unease, a palpable dread settling in. The isolation of Redwood wraps around the car like a shroud, promising untold secrets and hidden dangers. Arriving at the dilapidated house, number 43 looms ominously in the night. Inside, the air is heavy with unspoken dread. Linda sits on the sofa, lost in a catatonic state, her eyes vacant and distant. Her voice, a mere whisper of its former self, breaks the silence, tinged with chilling fear. It knows your name, even though you've never met, she warns, her words painting a terrifying picture of the unseen. I cautiously step into Jacob's room, where darkness reigns, pierced only by a faint glow from the hallway. Moonlight spills into the room, revealing disturbing drawings that adorn the walls like sinister murals. In the corner, a dark silhouette takes shape. Jacob, huddled against the wall, lost in shadow. A malevolent voice echoes through the room, chilling the air. You're too late, Daniel. Days later, Jacob's room transforms into a high-tech surveillance hub, bristling with cameras, audio recorders, and EMF meters. The air crackles with the subtle hum of electronic equipment, a stark contrast to the room's previous silence. A palpable sense of determination fills the room, fueled by the quest to capture undeniable evidence of paranormal activity. Every shadow and flicker is now under scrutiny, as the hunt for the unseen begins in earnest. In the dead of night, Jacob's empty bed begins to shake violently, an unseen force wreaking havoc. The room is silent, save for the creaking of the bed frame, a prelude to something sinister. From the depths of the closet, a deep, guttural laugh echoes, chilling the very air. The audio recorder captures the malevolent sound, a testament to the unseen horror lurking within Jacob's room. The room is dark, the only light emanating from a screen displaying video footage. On the screen, a shadowy figure slowly emerges from beneath the bed, its form twisted and unnatural. The figure, an adult with a spine curved grotesquely backward, crawls towards the camera lens, a silent horror unfolding. The shadowy figure vanishes, leaving only the lingering dread of what was witnessed on the screen. In Jacob's room, Father Thomas begins the exorcism, his face set with unwavering resolve. His voice, a deep and resonant echo of ancient prayers, fills the room. Gently, with a steady hand, Father Thomas places a cross upon Jacob's fevered forehead. A sinister sneer twists Jacob's face, his eyes burning with dark defiance. That cross won't save any soul, Jacob hisses, the air thick with palpable dread. Jacob's room is thrown into violent chaos, the very structure groaning under an unseen force. Windows explode, unleashing a frigid wind that whips through the room, carrying dust and shattered remnants. Objects are flung from shelves, a symphony of destruction echoing as the bed rattles violently. Amidst the turmoil, a mirror reflects a fleeting glimpse of Jacob's face, twisted into a chilling, malevolent smile. The chaotic scene amplifies the sense of dread, as if the room itself is succumbing to an evil presence. In Jacob's room, the air hangs heavy, thick with 2 hours of unrelenting exorcism. Jacob's body goes limp, finally succumbing to exhaustion and collapsing into stillness. Father Thomas, utterly spent, collapses beside him, his strength completely drained. A profound silence descends, suggesting a battle won, but the quiet is heavy with uncertainty. Jacob lies still, the camera capturing his face in sharp detail. Suddenly, his eyes snap open, revealing irises that are completely, unnervingly black. A chilling moment of realization as Jacob speaks, his voice laced with an eerie gratitude. "Thank you for opening the door, Daniel." Abruptly, all the equipment shuts down, plunging the room into silence and darkness. Pale daylight streams into Jacob's room, casting long shadows across the silent space. An unsettling emptiness pervades the air, a stark testament to his sudden disappearance. The room stands as a haunting echo of the life that once filled it. On the wooden floor, a dark, ominous mark draws the eye. Closer, the charred stain reveals a horrifying shape, a small, human silhouette. The charred stain whispers of a terrible fate, a grim testament to what was once Jacob. A dim light casts long shadows across Daniel's apartment, the only source of light emanating from a laptop screen. Daniel stares intently at the inbox, his gaze drawn to an anonymous email, a digital ghost with no sender, no subject. His heart pounds in his chest as he clicks on the attached audio file, a sense of dread mixing with anticipation. 6 seconds of silence stretch into an eternity, amplifying the tension in the dimly lit room. Then, a voice breaks through the silence, a mere whisper that sends chills down Daniel's spine. Jacob's voice. "Daniel, I miss you," the ghostly voice echoes, filling the room with a haunting blend of longing and sorrow. In the dim glow of the computer screen, Daniel watches in disbelief as the deleted file stubbornly reappears, a surge of frustration as he swipes again, deleting the file, only to witness its ghostly return. The file reappears for the 3rd time, Daniel's face etched with mounting paranoia and a chilling sense of isolation. Trapped in a digital nightmare, the apartment feels smaller, the silence amplifying the digital defiance. Back in his apartment, Daniel's eyes reflect the camera's glow as he begins his video log. "Every time I film, or even turn on my recorder, I hear them. 3 knocks on the wall," Daniel says, his voice strained with unease. His warning hangs heavy in the air. "I need to warn you. Do not look in the mirror for the next 3 hours. Because sometimes, the thing looking back at you is no longer you," he says, the screen abruptly fading to black as 3 ominous knocks echo.
Next is the story The Clock of Dead Time.
In his cluttered office, Dr. Gabriel Monroe is bathed in the warm light of a desk lamp, his face a landscape of wisdom and fatigue. Towering bookshelves, laden with paranormal artifacts, stand guard around him in the hushed Seattle Institute of Paranormal Research. He leans into a voice recorder, his voice a low, steady hum that cuts through the silence of the night. "Cursed objects. They whisper stories of lives twisted and fates sealed," Dr. Monroe says, his voice echoing in the dimly lit room. "Of all the cases I have encountered, the dead man's clock remains the most unsettling," he confesses, a shadow of unease crossing his face. "A title card appears, Dover, Maine, winter 2021. June, Patel and Gabriel drive along a snow-laden road, the tires crunching softly on the icy ground. In the distance, an isolated, dilapidated house emerges, its darkened windows hinting at secrets within. The bleak, snow-covered forest casts long shadows, creating a foreboding atmosphere around the old house. In the sparsely furnished living room of the Crawford house, Helen Crawford, gaunt and nervous, stands to greet her guests. The air hangs heavy and intensely cold, a stark contrast to the warmth one might expect. A black brass pendulum clock dominates the wall, its presence both striking and ominous. Helen's voice trembles slightly as she speaks, a hint of melancholy in her eyes. "The clock belonged to my late husband, Walter. He was a clockmaker," she says, her gaze lingering on the timepiece. In the Crawford house's living room, Gabriel and June meticulously arrange cameras and energy meters, their faces illuminated by the faint glow of their equipment. An ominous tick pierces the silence as they prepare for their first night of investigation, the air thick with anticipation and dread. Unseen, the minute hand on the old clock begins to move counterclockwise, defying time and logic. The subtle, eerie movement hints at the unsettling presence lurking within the house, a silent promise of supernatural events to come. In the dead of night, the temperature plummets in the Crawford house, and the ticking clock dominates the silence. Gabriel and June watch the clock with rapt attention, their eyes following the relentless march of the second hand. Time grinds to a halt as the second hand freezes at 3:15 a.m., the silence broken only by their held breaths. From behind the wall, a faint, metallic tapping begins, an unsettling intrusion into the stillness. In the Crawford house, Gabriel opens the old wooden panel behind the grandfather clock, revealing a hidden compartment. A brass, mechanical hand taps rhythmically against the back wall, its movements precise and unnerving. June points, her finger trembling with a mix of fear and morbid curiosity, towards the clock face. The clock face reflects a horrifying image. The clock face reflects a horrifying image. A man with a crushed face and a brass arm jutting from his chest. In the Crawford house living room, Gabriel's fingers graze the cold glass of the old clock. Suddenly, the lights flicker wildly, then plunge the room into an abyss of darkness. A metallic scraping tears through the silence, amplifying the dread. A chilling whisper slithers through the air as the narration echoes, "Time never dies. Only men do." In the Crawford house, the grandfather clock's hand spins wildly, blurring time into a frantic dance. The golden circle halts abruptly, the clock frozen at 7:45 a.m., a silent sentinel of fractured time. A hairline crack splinters across the wall behind the clock, a subtle fracture in reality. The crack widens, revealing Walter Crawford's workshop, a chaotic sanctuary of broken time. Dozens of shattered clocks litter the workbench, each frozen at 3:15 a.m., a haunting echo of a fixed moment. Helen's voice cuts through the silence, a realization dawning in her eyes. He never left this place. In the living room of the Crawford house, Helen embraces the antique clock, her expression serene and resolute. A sudden, blinding explosion rips through the room, the lights flaring with unearthly intensity. The force of the blast distorts reality, consuming everything in a wave of fire and destruction. As the light subsides, silence descends, revealing only ash and the scorched remnants of the clock's brass frame. Helen is gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation and mystery. Police officers swarm the Crawford house, their grim faces a stark reflection of the tragedy within. The front door hangs slightly ajar, an invitation to the unknown, a silent scream in the daylight. Helen is missing, her absence a palpable void in the bustling scene. The grandfather clock's empty space looms large, a gaping wound in the home's familiar facade. June stands apart, seemingly untouched by the chaos, a faint smile gracing her lips as she glances at her wristwatch. Inside the hotel room, Gabriel's eyes dart around, a sudden awareness prickling at his senses. A faint, rhythmic ticking sound invades the silence, an unsettling metronome in the night. His gaze snaps to the wall clock, its hands now moving with eerie precision. The hands reach 3:15 a.m., an impossible hour resurrected from a broken timepiece. In the dim-lit hotel room, Gabriel's intense gaze is fixed on the cold, digital numbers of the clock. The clock's reflective surface reveals a terrifying figure lurking behind him. Helen. A horrifying disfigurement mars half of Helen's face. The charred skin, a stark contrast to her remaining beauty. Gabriel remains still, fear evident in his eyes as he sees Helen's reflection. Helen's voice is a chilling whisper, a promise of more horror to come. "He's not finished yet," she whispers, her damaged face a mask of impending doom. In the dimly lit hotel room, the ancient clock hums, its presence a stark reminder of time's relentless march. A sudden, unnatural twitch of the minute hand shatters the quiet, as it begins to move counterclockwise, defying the laws of nature. Gabriel, his face a canvas of curiosity and mounting dread, delicately removes the clock's glass face, revealing a hidden horror. Wedged deep within the clock's intricate gears, a human eye stares back at him, a silent sentinel of forgotten sins. As the light from Gabriel's phone pierces the darkness, the eye's milky pupil violently contracts, a final, desperate act of defiance against the encroaching light. Inside the Seattle Institute of Paranormal Research, Gabriel's every move is deliberate, yet his eyes betray a profound disquiet. He carefully seals the ominous clock within a lead box, as if containing a dangerous secret. With steady hands, he labels the box, marking it for the Institute's archive, a place for forgotten, perilous artifacts. The weight of his task is evident, his shoulders slump with exhaustion, his face etched with worry. Each action is performed with a precision that speaks of experience, yet the underlying fear is palpable. He looks utterly drained, his gaze lingering on the sealed box as if he anticipates the darkness it holds. Back in his dimly lit office, Gabriel's solitude is shattered by 3 sharp, metallic taps against the wall. He freezes, his eyes darting around the room, searching for the source of the unnerving sound. A palpable sense of dread washes over him as the silence stretches, amplifying his unease. Worry etches deeper lines on his face, a silent question hanging in the air as he remains in the shadows. Gabriel's office is shrouded in shadows, his weary face barely illuminated by the desk lamp as the clock ticks ominously on the wall. Each tick of the clock echoes through the silent room, a stark reminder of time's relentless march. Gabriel's voice breaks the silence, heavy with contemplation. Perhaps, in the world of spirits, time doesn't flow forward. His words hang in the air as the scene fades to black, leaving only the haunting sound of the ticking clock, a loop of endless waiting. It merely waits for the moment to reverse, to complete the unfinished loop.
Finally, the story The Ashes of Grace.
A perpetual mist clings to Coldwater, Maine, shrouding the small village in an ethereal veil. An old, wooden house stands on the town's edge, weathered and worn by time. The house is nestled against a dark pine forest, its shadows slowly creeping over the structure. Michael Reeves, a paranormal investigator in his 40s, surveys the scene with a knowing gaze. The house seems to be silently succumbing, swallowed piece by piece into the forest's embrace. An eerie stillness hangs in the air, broken only by the whisper of the wind through the pines. Inside the Thompson house, Daniel and his wife are abruptly awakened, their eyes widening in alarm. Footsteps echo ominously on the wooden floor, each step resonating with growing dread. A rhythmic knocking pierces the silence, emanating from within the walls, a sinister presence announcing itself. They exchange a look filled with apprehension, unspoken fears mirrored in their gaze. The eerie tension in the room thickens, binding them together in a shared moment of chilling unease. Morning light floods Ellie's room, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. Little Ellie sits on the edge of her bed, her feet dangling, a dreamy look in her eyes as she gazes up at her mother. "I met a girl with burnt hair. She sang me to sleep," Ellie whispers, her voice soft with the lingering magic of dreams. Her mother smiles gently, folding laundry, her reply a soothing balm. "That's nice, sweetie. Just a dream, probably. In Ellie's bedroom, the Thompsons are consumed by a shared dread, their expressions mirroring a deep, unsettling concern. Long, deliberate scratch marks scar the pastel wallpaper, each line a testament to unseen terror. The marks, faintly resembling a human hand, are blackened and scorched, an eerie silhouette against the light. A pervasive smell of soot and ash invades the air, a suffocating reminder of the room's recent trauma. The scent of smoke stings their nostrils, heightening the sense of unease and lingering danger. The contrast between the room's innocent decor and the sinister marks amplifies the horror of what has occurred. In the dimly lit Thompson house, Daniel presses play on the recorder, casting eerie shadows that dance on the walls. A chilling melody fills the room as a woman's voice softly sings, "Rockabye, baby." The song's rhythm warps, each phrase ending with a prolonged, haunting sob, unsettling Michael as he listens intently. Daniel breaks the silence, his voice hushed. The singing is coming from the old chimney. Michael enters the Thompson house, an unseen weight pressing down on him. The air hangs heavy and musty, thick with the scent of ash and aged iron. Each breath feels like an inhalation of cold, forgotten memories. He sets up his equipment, the silence amplifying the sense of foreboding. In the dead of night, Michael's electromagnetic field meter erupts in chaos, its lights a frantic dance of warning. On the infrared screen, a spectral outline takes shape, a chilling white shadow against the darkness. The form of a woman materializes, her face hidden behind a curtain of spectral hair. From the darkness, two eyes ignite like burning embers, piercing the veil of shadow. The spectral figure lingers silently by Ellie's door, an eternity suspended in the stillness of the night. Then, without a trace, the haunting presence vanishes, leaving only the echo of its chilling gaze. Sunlight floods the town library, illuminating towering shelves laden with stories and secrets. At a sturdy wooden table, Michael is lost in a sea of books and yellowed documents, his brow furrowed in concentration. He pores over a brittle newspaper from 1958, its headlines hinting at a dark past. The headline screams, "Nurse Grace Holloway perishes, attempting to save patients." Michael's eyes scan the grim details. Asylum accused of safety violations and illicit experimentation. A chilling revelation emerges from the faded print. Asylum director Dr. Robert Thompson left Coldwater immediately after the incident. In the dimly lit Thompson house, Michael sets a voice recorder on a dusty table, a silent sentinel awaiting the unknown. He closes his eyes, a solemn expression on his face as he begins a heartfelt prayer. His voice a beacon in the oppressive silence. He implores any present spirits to reveal themselves, to share their desires and secrets with him. The room holds its breath, the only sound the faint hum of the recorder, amplifying the palpable tension. Minutes stretch into an eternity, each second a heavy weight in the expectant atmosphere. Then, a haunting lullaby drifts through the darkness, weaving its way into the heart of the house. Why, let them burn? Save them? I am still here. Ellie's eyes snap open, wide with a sudden jolt of fear that paints her face pale. Her body tenses, every muscle coiled as if reacting to an unseen threat. She trembles, caught in a silent scream that claws at her throat. A voice, jarringly mature and rough, tears from her lips, a stark contrast to her youthful appearance. The little girl utters the exact same words in an adult's voice, hoarse and trembling. Michael reaches out, his fingers brushing against her arm, and a wave of chilling cold engulfs his hand. The sensation is akin to touching wet, cold ash, a ghostly residue clinging to his skin. He begins reciting an exorcism, his voice a desperate plea against the encroaching darkness. The air thickens with each word, a palpable resistance as objects rattle and windows burst open, succumbing to an unseen force. In the Thompson house, an unseen force stirs, coalescing into a swirling vortex that dominates the room. Flickering light dances across the scene, casting long, distorted shadows that heighten the sense of unease. Michael's eyes widen in horror as a burning figure materializes, its presence radiating intense heat and dread. The burning figure hunches protectively over Ellie, an innocent caught in a terrifying supernatural event. The vortex pulsates with ominous energy, threatening to consume everything in its path as the drama unfolds. Michael's scream rips through the Thompson house. The fire flares, casting fleeting shadows that dance like spirits on the walls. Darkness descends as the flames die, leaving only silence and the echo of his plea. Grace, I know the truth. They killed you, but you don't have to hurt anyone else. I will help you be heard. The room is plunged into a cold, heavy silence. Ellie crumples to the floor, unconscious, a stark figure against the stillness. At the local police station, Michael urgently submits a stack of documents, hoping to shed light on a dark secret. He gathers himself, a look of grim determination etched on his face as he prepares to deliver another set of documents. Inside a small, unassuming newspaper office in Maine, the atmosphere hums with quiet industry. Michael hands over the crucial evidence, his eyes reflecting a plea for justice and truth. The documents, filled with hidden clues, are now in the hands of those who seek to uncover the past. In the stark light of day, a somber memorial rises against the sky in Coldwater. The names of Grace Holloway and the forgotten souls lost in the Asylum fire are engraved in stone, their stories etched in silence. Crisp sunlight casts long, mournful shadows across the memorial, a stark reminder of the tragedy. A plaque gleams, bearing the state government's official acknowledgement of the truth. The inscription declares in solemn words, "The 1958 fire was not accidental," shattering decades of deceit. The memorial stands as a silent sentinel, guarding the secrets and sorrows of Coldwater. Michael casts one last, lingering look at the Thompson house, its windows mirroring the bright afternoon Sunday. A trick of the light? He imagines a figure in a white nurse's uniform, a phantom of gratitude, smiling from within. The vision fades as quickly as it appeared, leaving him questioning what he saw. Breaking his reverie, Ellie rushes towards him, her small form a beacon of warmth and affection. "She said thank you," Ellie whispers, her innocent words carrying a weight of unspoken emotions and closure.
Thank you for watching the video. Please give me a like and subscribe to the channel to watch the next interesting videos.